Thank you very much. And again, welcome to the Mesa City Council meeting for May the 18th. All of our council is present. At this council meeting, we're taking comments over the telephone and the internet. You can find multiple ways to participate on the first page of our City Council agenda. Additionally, if you want to speak, you should submit a blue card 1 hour before the meeting. Again, you can find that information on the first page of the agenda and at mesaaz.gov/blue card. We will begin our meeting tonight with a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. So please stand for the moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you. The first item on our agenda for this meeting is awards and recognitions. Our first awards and recognitions items is to recognize a few businesses and organizations in Mesa who've gone above and beyond to help out during the coronavirus pandemic. And I have some beautiful certificates to award tonight. First is the Tuhan Inc. Thank you very much. They donated 1,000 masks to our public safety department. So we'll have a ceremony and present that to them a little later this week. Thank you, Tuhan. Next is United Food Bank. We all know how they've stepped up in our community. They've been on the front lines of the pandemic, providing food to thousands of Mesa residents in need. Thank you very much to United Food Bank. Dutch Brothers, everyone's favorite coffee shop. They've given generous donations to the United Food Bank and supported our staff and volunteers. Thank you very much, Dutch Brothers. Finally, Las Palmas. Las Palmas is a very generous 55-plus community. They've generously donated funds and food also to the United Food Bank. So thank you very much, Las Palmas. We will visit you in person and present that certificate as well. When I read the list of those making and donating masks and PPE, I realized that I needed to recognize really all of the City of Mesa employees whose jobs have changed so drastically these past few months. They've all stepped up to the plate and made this organization shine. We have library employees making masks, face shields, and answering the Mesa Cares hotline. Parks employees are setting up food drives, restaurant buyouts, food distribution events, and helping drivers unload truckloads of food across the city. Our public safety personnel have adjusted their everyday procedures because they still need to answer calls for help. And I know this is a short list, but I want all of our city employees to know that I appreciate everything you're doing to help our residents through this health crisis, and as does our entire council. From providing the most up-to-date information to standing up new programs and initiatives, we are very proud of you and the great way that you've represented our city government. So thank you very much to our great City of Mesa employees. We also have one award on our agenda tonight. The City of Mesa was recently designated as a reliable public power provider by the American Public Power Association. Cities with this designation are recognized for providing communities with the highest degree of reliable and safe electric service. With us tonight via Zoom to tell us more is Frank McRae, Mesa's Energy Resources Director. Frank, tell us more about this award, please.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Frank McRae with the Energy Resource Department. So a couple of items to discuss. First of all, we're a customer-owned electric utility. We serve almost 17,000 customers in the 5.5 square miles of downtown Mesa, and we are a member of the American Public Power Association. The RP3, or Reliable Public Power Provider Program, is a national designation given by the organization recognizing publicly owned electric utilities for providing communities with the highest degree of reliable and safe electrical service. Mesa's electric utility is one of about 270 publicly owned electric utilities across the country, of which there are more than 2,000 across the country. So it's a pretty select group of utilities that are awarded this designation. The award emphasizes and measures a member's programs and progress in 4 key aspects of electric utility goals and strategies. First one is reliability. The reliability of a system goes beyond keeping the lights on. We take important steps like collecting and analyzing reliability data, having a mutual aid agreement with local and regional utilities, and a strong commitment to security of our cyber and physical assets. Safety is probably the most important one for me. We create a culture of safety, and it means a commitment is made to high standards of safety for our employees and customers. It must begin with top management, and we adhere to the Public Power Association's comprehensive safety manual. And the concept of safety is included in almost every aspect of our operations. Workforce development is another aspect of the program. We've got a lot of dedicated employees, and they're the key to the success of Mesa's electric utility. Professional development and networking opportunities show employees that they are valued, while our succession planning process and recruitment efforts also ensure a continuity in a changing workforce and a changing demand for different skills of the workforce. System improvement, utilities maintain the integrity of their systems and promote long-term planning. We do this by keeping an eye on future technological innovations and system betterment programs. With programs like our smart meter program, we think the future is very bright in that regard. Submitting an application for this award is not a trivial effort. Most APPA members typically apply for the award every 3 years. It's an extensive process, and there's a minimum score is needed to be achieved for each award level. And our application was reviewed by an 18-member panel comprising national electric utility experts in safety, electric transmission and distribution, and system planning and engineering. Our current Platinum Award is for the 2020 to 2023 timeframe. We've also won awards for the same RP3 in 2012, 2014, and 2017. So we haven't reached that diamond level yet. We're a couple of points away from the diamond level. So hopefully with plans that we have in place for betterment, safety, reliability, and that smart meter program, we're going to achieve that diamond level. But one of the things that I really like about the RP3 program, it's provided our department a chance to identify those best practices by working and collaborating with other publicly owned utilities. We learn, grow, and improve every time we put together these applications. But we wouldn't be able to earn this award without a number of departments that help us make our system safer, more reliable, improve our system, help us workforce development. And so a few of those departments are the engineering department, information technology department, water resources department, human resources, and the city attorney's office. So on behalf of the employees and those departments, I appreciate the honor of appearing here tonight and sharing this hard-earned award with you and our customers.
Well, thank you very much, Frank. We're very proud of our electric utility. We hope you'll communicate back to all of the great hardworking men and women in your department our appreciation and our congratulations for this well-earned recognition. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor and Council, for all of your help and support.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is item 1. That's to take action on the consent agenda. Mr. Kevin Christopher will read the consent agenda for the council.
Hey, John, I got a comment before we start on
Mayor and Council.
Okay, what is it?
I'd like to request
it's not on the agenda,
9.
Jeremy. Could it fit underneath an agenda item?
Yeah, I'm just requesting item 9B be taken off of consent.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, thank you. 9B. Okay,
Mayor,
Mr. Christopher.
it's a public hearing. It's not on the consent. 9B is
All right.
consent, so.
Yes, thank you, good point. You got that?
I got it. All right, Mayor and Council members, good evening. These are the items on the consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk will be considered as a group by the City Council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion unless a council member or a citizen requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. Item 2, approval of minutes of previous meetings as written. Item 3A, act on dollar limit increase to the term contract for locks, door hardware, and related parts for citywide departments, as requested by the Water Resources and Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Departments. Item 3B, act on contract to purchase a replacement climbing net for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department. Item 3C, act on one-year renewal with a one-year renewal option for the term contract for vehicle decals, the Mesa Police, Mesa Fire and Medical, and various city departments, as requested by the Fleet Services Department. Item 3D, act on one-year renewal with a one-year renewal option for the term contract for handheld narcotic analyzer system supplies for the Mesa Police Department. Item 3E, act on one-year term contract with 3 years of renewal options for service maintenance coverage for forensic equipment for the Police Department. Item 3F, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for vehicle rental services for the Police Department. This purchase is funded by asset forfeiture RICO funds. Item 3G, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for LED streetlight fixtures for the Transportation Department. Item 3H, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for hauling services for the Transportation Department. This purchase is funded by the Highway User Revenue Fund. Item 3I, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for pad-mounted junction cabinets for the Energy Resources Department. This purchase is funded by authorized electric bond funds. Item 3J, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for electrical services for utilities infrastructure for the Water Resources Department. Item 3K, act on 4-month term contract with 2 one-year renewal options for asbestos and lead-based paint abatement services for the Environmental Management and Sustainability Department. Item 4A, act on resolution authorizing and supporting the submittal of a grant application by Save the Family Foundation of Arizona, the Tohono O'odham Nation, and authorizing the city manager to accept and administer subsequent awarded funds as a pass-through grant. Item 4B, act on resolution authorizing and supporting the submittal of a grant application by Jean Lewis Boxing Club to the Tohono O'odham Nation and authorizing the city manager to accept and administer subsequent awarded funds as a pass-through grant. Item 4C, act on resolution authorizing and supporting the submittal of a grant application by Arizona State University Foundation to the Tohono O'odham Nation and authorizing the city manager to accept and administer subsequent awarded funds as a pass-through grant. Item 4D, act on resolution authorizing and supporting the submittal of a grant application by Paz de Cristo to the Tohono O'odham Nation and authorizing the city manager to accept and administer subsequent awarded funds as a pass-through grant. Item 4E, act on resolution extinguishing a temporary turnaround easement at 5603 South Signal Beach Road to accommodate development of the La Mira subdivision. This was requested by the property owner. Item 4F, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with ADOT authorizing the city's utilization of contracts that have been solicited and established by ADOT procurement for the purchase of PM10 certified street sweepers. Item 4G, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with Maricopa County regarding various water relocations and drainage improvements, including modifications to the McDowell Road storm drain and retention basin, and the relocation of a city water line on Palm Lane from 78th Street to Haas Road. Item 4H, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to accept funds from the U.S. Bureau of Justice Assistance through the Coronavirus Emergency Supplemental Funding Program Fiscal Year 2020 Program Grant. The funding will be used for citywide purchases related to the COVID-19 pandemic. The final award will be forthcoming in the near future. Item 4I, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into a Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act airport grant agreement with the FAA. The funds will be used to reimburse Falcon Field Airport for operating expenses incurred during the COVID-19 public health emergency. Item 5A, introduction of ordinance modifying rates for residential water utility services and establishing a 30% discount rate off the water service charge for qualified low-income senior residents. Item 5B, introduction of ordinance amending sections 9-11-3 through 9-11-5 of the Mesa City Code pertaining to floodplain regulations and the National Flood Insurance Program, and adopting by reference floodplain management regulations, a flood insurance study, and flood insurance rate maps. Item 5C, introduction of ordinance amending Chapter 58 of Title 11, the zoning ordinance of the Mesa City Code, to remove the limitation that certain land uses in the T5MS Transact Zone are not allowed on the ground floor, and to allow certain land uses in the T5MS Transact Zone to occupy up to 50% of the ground floor if the development meets specific criteria. Item 5D, introduction of ordinance regarding ZON 18-00483. This is for property located on the west side of Ellsworth Road, north of Ray Road, a rezone to allow for a mixed-use development. Item 5E, introduction of ordinance regarding ZON 20-00030. This is for property generally located west of Crispin Road on the south side of Southern Avenue. Rezone and site plan review to allow for a multi-residence development. Item 6A, act on ordinance regarding ZON 20-00024. This is for property generally located west of Mesa Drive and north of Main Street, rezoned within the form-based code regulating plan. Items 7A through 7D pertain to property located at the northwest corner of Thomas and Riker Roads. These items are for continuance to the June 15th City Council meeting. Mayor and council members, these are the items on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Christopher. Ms. Mickelson, are there any requests to speak on an item that's currently on the consent agenda?
No request, Mayor.
Thank you. Council members, any requests to take an item off of the consent agenda? Okay, that being the case, council, is there a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda? Motion by Mr. Freeman, seconded by Mr. Luna. We will do a roll call vote. Vice Mayor Freeman, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Council Member Whitaker.
Aye.
Thank you. Council Member Heredia.
Aye.
Thank you. Council Member Duff.
Aye.
Thank you. Council Member Luna.
Aye.
Thank you. Council Member Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. I vote aye as well, so the consent agenda passes unanimously. Item 8B is next on our agenda. That's to conduct a public hearing relating to the annual assessments for the Mesa Town Center Improvement District. I declare the public hearing open. Ms. Mickelson, are there any requests to speak on this item?
No request, Mayor.
Thank you. Does any council member wish to address this item? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. Item 8B is a resolution approving the 2020 district assessments for Mesa Town Center Improvement Districts. Is there a motion to that effect? Thank you, Mr. Freeman, seconded by Mr. Luna. We will do a roll call vote. Vice Mayor Freeman, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Whitaker.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Heredia.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Duff.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Luna.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. I vote aye as well, so that passes unanimously. The next item on our agenda is item 9A. This is to conduct a public hearing on the proposed 5-year capital improvement program for fiscal years ending 2021 through 2025. I declare the public hearing open. Ms. Mickelson, are there any requests to speak on this item?
No request, Mayor.
Thank you. Do any council members wish to address this item? Thank you. I declare the public hearing closed. Item 9B on our agenda is a resolution approving the 5-year capital improvement program for fiscal years ending 2021 and 2025. Is there a motion to that effect? Thank you, Mr. Luna, and a second. Thank you, Councilmember Duff. We'll do a roll call vote. Vice Mayor Freeman, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Whitaker.
Nay.
Nay. Thank you. Councilmember Heredia.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Duff.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Luna.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. And I vote aye. Motion passes 6 ayes and 1 nay, with Councilmember Whitaker voting nay. The next item on our agenda is item 10, items from citizens present. Ms. Mickelson, do we have any requests to speak?
No request, Mayor.
Thank you. That concludes the items on our agenda. Council, please unmute your microphones. Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting? Thank you, Mr. Freeman. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We are adjourned.
Oh, wait.
Mayor?